Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of The Bloom Podcast, where we discuss everything self-development, wellness, and evolution. I am your host, Delila, and in this season, we are highlighting some of Houston's most impactful women who are out here killing it, all while serving their purpose. In episode 9, we will be speaking to DJ Rosez. She is a Houston Latina DJ, queer woman, and all about creating a safe space and nightlife for women. And help me welcome is DJ Rosez. So I heard of you through one of your best friends,
John.
Yes, at work. I was at one of the schools, and I was just like talking to all the staff there, and he was just like, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. So that day was the day that my podcast was actually launching the first episode.
Crazy.
And then, and one of my coworkers, he's like this older guy. He's like 72 years old. He's just like a proud dad. Like, I don't know why he was telling everybody that I was launching my podcast that day at work. I was like, I like to keep my work life at work and then like my outside of work. And then that's when your friend was like, oh, word, like let me see, like what kind of content do you do? And he was like, I was like, I do a lot of like women empowerment events, and I just love like empowering women and coming together and networking and everything. He's like, really, like my best friend? At first I was like, there's no way, like he's probably just saying that, like
no, he's for real about his shit.
And he started like sending me all these Instagram pages, and I was like, okay, he wasn't playing. And then that night he's like, hey, like my friend's throwing an event, like do you want to come? And I was like, no, like I'm gonna be hosting like a viewing party at my apartment with my friends and stuff. And then the Perralicious event, I was like, okay, this is definitely alignment, because there's just no way that I randomly meet this guy and she's DJing with, I like to say that DJ Savage is my DJ too. Yay. So I'm like, that's my DJ. And I was like, oh, we're going. And then it was the day that all my friends were in town. So I was like, the timing was just so perfect. So yeah, that was our first crazy, because
I remember that time. I remember when John mentioned you, which, by the way, shout out to John, because that's like my fucking bestie.
Yes.
He comes to almost all my gigs. But he was like, yo, I met this girl and she does this podcast and it's all about women empowerment. And then I thought about you. As fast as I went, that's how you went.
Love it.
Yo, he was really down. He was like, yo, you should really meet her. And then when we did Perralicious, he was like, she's coming. And so, man, it's like I mentioned before, I'm really grateful to be here. And honestly, the work that you do is so empowering, and it's like necessity. Like, we need more women podcasts, you know?
Thank you.
Man, you're doing your shit, man. And so thank you for having me again on National DJ Day.
Yes, alignment is so real. Yeah. I love it. I'm all like, anytime I have these moments of like confirmation, I'm like, you see, it's God. It's God. Like, it's supposed to be happening. It's in the right direction. Yeah. Who has to be here is going to be here.
Lo que es tuyo es tuyo, you know?
Y así nadie me lo puede quitar.
Hey, a huevo.
Nadie me lo puede quitar. Pero sí. Oh my God. So yes, thank you so much for being here. Yes, just as hyped. I'm so hyped.
I'm really hyped. I love anything that's in regard to like empowering women. Like, I'm here for all women, right? Like, queer women, Black women, people of color, you know, disabled women. Like, we all need a space, and I think that's what you're doing, right? And creating spaces for all forms and types of women. So
yes, awesome. And speaking of, I see a lot of the advocacy that you do online and everything that you represent and all the titles that you hold. What's been one of your favorite like community events that you've been able to either DJ at or attend?
Dude, you've been doing your research. I love this.
Oh, Alec, I'm not gonna take that one. That one was from him, but I have seen. He said he's seen you at a protest, but I do see a lot of things that you advocate for as far as like LGBTQ. Yeah, a lot of the job postings. I actually applied for the content creator position. I sent over my portfolio that same night, so I see everything that I seen stuff too. But Alec did point out
Alec.
The protests that you went to.
So I come from a community advocacy background. So I used,
nice.
So I used to work for a lot of nonprofits. I did a lot of grassroots organizing when I was in college, and that's mainly how John and I met. But one of my favorite pieces that I've gotten to go to, man, there's just so many nonprofits. But I am gonna do a mom prom soon.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so this event is curated, I forgot for the organization, but the whole concept is that they do help the foster care system.
Nice.
And so they're fundraising money for that. And so they created a night that any and all women can enjoy. So that includes moms, like single individuals, or just people trying to like support. Like, that has been definitely a really special event. I think the other event that I really enjoyed is like there's an organization here in Houston called Lesbians of Color. We Lesbians of Color, and they were highlighting a judge, a black judge who just won their second term. Nice. And so usually I get booked to do like top 40 events, so I get to do a lot of Latin events. But to see a community that I usually don't get to see that much, like the black community came, and like the black queer community came out to support the judge, and that felt so special. Like it aligned so much with my values that it felt like an affirmation at that point. You know, like,
I love that.
We are here together. You know.
And how long ago was that?
That was like a couple months back.
Oh, okay, so it's recent.
Yeah, it was recent.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people are not aware of the policies that are in place that sometimes harm us, right? Because most people are trying to make a living 9 to 5, right?
Right.
And they don't have the time to be aware of local politics. And the only reason I knew about that is because I was working on it, you know? But I mean, we're still here, and I've transgressed from that to now trying to make like a safe space for women in nightlife.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's really important.
Yeah.
That's really important. Where did you go to school at?
So I went to UHC for my undergrad, and then I went to UHCL for my grad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear Lake.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And what did you major in?
So my undergrad at UHD was psychology with a minor in Spanish. And then my grad was industrial organizational psychology.
Beautiful.
Big ass terms.
Yes. That's so beautiful though.
Yeah.
And then how you can like put both, like merge them together.
Yeah. So that's the whole point here and the whole goal, right? While some people are like really DJing for their ego and the fame, I'm like really trying to create with like my peers of movement.
Makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. You don't hear that a lot.
No.
At all.
No.
At all. And I don't really... We'll get into that later because I have my own little opinions about the nightlife here in Houston.
But then we talked about it, like nightlife, like let's look at the camera. Nightlife is nothing without the women in the dance floors.
Yeah.
But like when we're able to create a space where like women are just like taken seriously, right? Where they're uplifted, empowered, and seen. Yes. And then you got bomb ass music by bomb ass DJs who are women as well.
Exactly. It's like a triple threat.
Hell fucking yeah.
That's right. So, okay, now that you're bringing in the new... Okay, you're going to be the first one.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, you're bringing in the bloom. You're bringing in 2023. You're bringing in the bloom. What are some of your New Year's resolutions?
Ooh.
If you have any.
For New Year's resolutions. Well, I really want to focus on Perralicious. So, Savage and I have been like drafting... what this year is going to look like. We want to make it into a seasonal party. And then I have some like personal goals in regards like where I want to take my DJ career at. And think lastly for my New Year resolution, I think I would really like to manage work-life balance better.
Beautiful. Yeah. Okay.
That's
nice. Those are beautiful. Those are amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially work-life balance. I'm all for work-life balance.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Perralicious. How did it come about? Beginning to where it's at now.
Perralicious is an R&B and reggaeton party hosted by me and DJ Savage. And I met DJ Savage, which you've had on this podcast, at Sneaker Summit. And I got invited there through a mutual friend, and she wanted to do an all-women lineup. And I was fucking fascinated. Sneaker culture can be very like machista or very like masculine in the sense of like a lot of men. But to have like an all-women lineup, that seemed fucking cool. Yeah. So I played for a little bit. I heard everybody play. But for some reason, DJ Savage was like just fucking stood out for me.
Yeah.
And I was trying to look at sneakers, and her transitions were so dope. The sound selection was great. I felt litty, and it was just like it's like a market, you know? I felt like I was feeling the music. And so when someone does that, they have something special, right? And so I was thinking, man, I want to collab and Savage in some way. And then I later see that one of my homies ended up like booking her for his event. And I was like, you know what, man, this is a sign, you know, like I need to collaborate with her. So I pitched her the idea. I was like, let's do an R&B and reggaeton party together. I work with a production company called Houston Parties. And so together we made it happen. And I thought it was cool because the concept, like, I think there's only one other party, but that's in Europe that does R&B and reggaeton.
Wow.
Yeah, I did my research. I was
in
like,
Europe, out of all places, you would never think.
Yeah. But also, I'm not gonna talk smack. I'm not gonna
They look different. I mean,
I
it's
think
different when you're like raised here in the States where R&B was like born and made.
Yeah.
Then...
And also, Perralicious is such a cute name.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, so that was a concept that we thought of it together. I thought of Perralicious, and then Savage was like, no, Perralicious sounds better. And apparently she says licious a lot. So it just seemed like a great concept. And then after that, we decided to host a party. And honestly, it became a success. Like, I think we achieved like a milestone in that venue that they haven't seen. And so if you need a representation or proof to see that women are the core of nightlife, just look at the attendees that went to Perralicious. And that was during the rain, Fran.
Yes, it was raining so hard. I was like, I don't care. We are going. We are going. But speaking on the venue, I really actually liked the venue.
It's cute, right?
It was so cute. Like, I don't know if it's because I already buzzed, but I didn't know where I was at for a split second. Like, when we walked out, I was like, it didn't feel like we were in Houston. Like, I don't know. Where is it at again? So I Ubered there, so I don't remember.
It's close to Montrose.
Okay.
So I think it's the neon.
Ducked off.
Yeah.
Just its own little space. I loved it.
Yeah, I think the neon lights make it so special.
I actually liked it because it wasn't close to other bars.
Okay.
Like, it was kind of ducked away. Like, it was ducked off. It was like, our private little space.
It was selective.
Yeah, it's selective. I like that. Yes.
Yeah, but that's how Perralicious started. And then we made it into an Instagram page. Follow Perralicious Party on Instagram. And then it just became a thing. And so we're excited to see where it goes from here. Again, the main focus, well, to me, Savage would want to, like, for it to be really vibey. And I really want to focus on creating a space for women. So together.
Yes. And DJ Savage is all about women.
Yeah.
We're working with women too, which I love.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love her, man.
Yes. One of the things that I really liked about the concept of Perralicious, just merging both cultures was like my dream. Like, I don't think you guys understand how hyped and how happy I was. Like, that. That's just my whole childhood right there. Yeah. Both of my little cultures just merged together.
Yeah, that was like the idea also behind it, that to allow like various different demographics to be able to sit down, and you can also have like edits, so I know that I played an edit that was like Bad Bunny and Keisha Cole, I think, and it was meshed together. And so like the sky's the limit, right? In the sense of like, you're providing people a space where they can really enjoy like two different genres that sometimes are not played in the same room, right? And we hold still dear in our heart. So man, I'm excited that you feel that way. Like that feels very empowering and affirming,
Yes. But another thing too is like, both of those genres put together is a lot of like a lot of our childhood. I feel like,
it's nostalgic.
Yes,
that was a really packed night. My cousins were there too, and they were having so much fun.
So how do you and Savage prep for a night like that? Like, do y'all just do y'all's own sets? Did y'all like?
Honestly, that was more of like a DJ's choice.
Okay.
So I mean, we gave the concept together, but it's not like I can say that we practice. I mean, I feel like these are both areas of expertise that we both have, so we just put it in, and I think that collectively what we do really well is read the crowd, and so when you read a crowd, you know what to play.
Yes.
So that's what happened.
Beautiful. I love it. And then for a split second, I was like asking my friends, I was like, so is one of them going to go on first and then the other one? I was like, no, I hope they both go together. And then when I see both together, I was like, yes.
Oh, which also we have a gallant. Can I promote?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I look at the camera looks at me. So we're going to be hosting a Galentine's event at Henke and Pilot February 17th. And this one will be ticketed, but we're going to have a lot of photo ops. We're going to have an installation, a TV installation. So it's going to be really exciting. So February 17th, it's on the bio of our Instagram page. And yeah, be on the lookout for the ultimate Galentine's party.
Yes, I'll be there with my girl.
Hey,
what's like one of the biggest misconceptions that you think people have about you?
Or me?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great podcast. Like,
go ahead and put it out there, because if y'all was thinking,
this is wrong. great questions. Misconceptions about me. Because
if you want, I can say one of mine while you think. If you
okay, go for it.
Okay, I think one of the biggest misconceptions, one of the biggest misconceptions that people have of me is that I'm like not approachable. And I'm like, I feel like I'm the most approachable person ever. I'm very big on making people feel safe and seen and heard whenever I have, like, even if they're like a little introverted. I think I can be my energy can be a little too much for people that are introverted. I probably scare them off because like I want to know like everything about you. I want to know why you doing what you do with your life, and how did you get to this point in life, and what's your favorite color, and like I'm so deep, you know. So I think I can scare off introverts, but I have been in situations where I feel people's energy that they feel like, oh, she looks, I don't know, like maybe like mean or like I don't know. But I'm the sweetest. Approach me.
You
please.
Seem very sweet. That's why we're talking right now.
Yes.
It's
very big on like. Oh, like let's say like we're in a room with like women and men. Yeah, you know, men are stupid, so they'll do stupid things.
I love this
and
podcast.
It's like no, like I'm more of a woman like girl, like you know what I mean. Like I'll be friends with her if I'm friends with her like guy, or like I don't know, they you meet insecure women that are like, my man. I'm like, girl, I want to talk to you. Let's have a conversation. Like, why are you know? And yeah, so I just love women. I love having deep conversations, intellectual conversations. And yeah, I'm approachable. Y'all don't be scared.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, you are very adaptable.
Yes, I'm an air sign. I'm adaptable. Yeah,
I'm an air sign too. I'm an Aquarius.
What are you? Aquarius. Really? Your birthday's coming up then. Yes.
But misconceptions. I don't know how people perceive me. I do feel that, and this might, in full transparency, I am very approachable when it comes to like people attending my events. But as I've been in this industry, I know that not all DJs have the same values as I do. And nor do I need to befriend every DJ out there. So I may seem like I can be a little like snobby or uptight, but that's because I already have a great like circle of friends that support me.
Love it. Yes.
And so in the sense of that, like if I don't fuck with you in that way, it's because clearly we don't align in those values, and I don't need that type of energy in that space, especially at work, you know, like I don't need to befriend every person in nightlife or every DJ out here. You know, I'm here to create a platform. I'm here to create a space, and that's the whole purpose. So that's right.
I love that. Okay, let's talk about friends, because I'm obsessed with my friend group. And I'm like, I love them so much. But I think I'm that obsessed because I didn't always have those relationships with them, and I cherish them and I value them so much now. And just like anybody that aligns with me, I'm just like, I want to keep you forever. Yeah. So what does your friend group like look like? What do you guys like to do? How did like, you know, I don't know how many of there are you? Like, I just want to know everything.
So I feel like I've always been like very social, right? And so, and even in high school, I got called motor mouth because I could just not keep quiet during choir class. And so I feel, well, I'm also queer, right? And so things that I've learned as a queer person is that we have a chosen family, and those are our close friends, because for so long I didn't come out to my parents. And a lot of queer people grow up with that, and that's why queer bars are so essential for like queer people, because if you don't have that safe space at home, some people will have it at a bar and with their loved ones. And so when I have a variety of circles of friends. I have friends that maybe you'll see it at Perralicious. I have friends from elementary school that come and show up. Yeah, girl. All the way to like grad school, or even my previous coworkers. But lately, what I've seen that my social and my close friend looks like is brown queer women. Like,
beautiful. Yeah. So, I love it.
Yeah. So I think what's crazy is like, I feel like sometimes these DJs don't realize that when you're out there, people see you, right? They're looking at you at this moment, right? Or they're hearing your craft. And so when people feel aligned with that, they're moved. So I've met a lot of couples that are queer and brown, who felt aligned when I play, and now like come out and they'll have dinner with me sometimes, or I got to spend a lot of them with at New Year's Eve, you know, at a house party. You know, that's it's fucking crazy. You know, so that's what my circle is aligning to. But I do have a variety of friends who I adore, I love, and honestly, I wouldn't even be here without a lot of them because they're my family. You know?
So I want to touch on two things. If you want to speak on your coming out story, and then, and I have to say it because if not, I'll forget. And then creating a family that's not your blood family. Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Okay. So coming out. So I will say that my parents were very homophobic when I was a child, and so I knew at the age of like 4 that I really liked women. And even the glimpses when I try to come out to my parents, they were just not about it. And so there's anything that I've learned in being in queer spaces is that what I was taught, right? It's like, if you want to come out, make sure that you have a safe space to be at. And so for me, that was like, oh, I need my own place. And so it took me until I was 24 to come out. I'm 26.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was
it's been 2 years.
Yeah. I was in the closet for a long time with my parents. Everybody else, they knew. But with my parents, it took me a long time, and it wasn't until I had my own place, made my own money, I was secure, that I felt like, okay, well, I can't lie to them anymore. And if they love me, they will continue to be part of my journey. And if not, that's very unfortunate, but I can't continue to keep hiding myself. Yeah, for them. And so, I came out to them, and my mom and my dad were very supportive. Yeah, so that was crazy for me.
Yeah.
And it's taken a while, right? Son Latinos, vienen del Salvador.
Say it with pride.
Vienen del Salvador. El Salvador tiene tendencias muy religiosas. Sí. So they can be very religious. And so I was really scared, but I'm really happy that they took it the way that they did. They're not perfect. I'm not saying that they're going to go to Pride with me. They ain't going to go to gay club with me, you know, but slowly and surely there is some growth and progression. They have met my girlfriend. They know about my girlfriend. And so, yeah. And I mean, they don't call her my girlfriend, but they do be like, hey, you know, how is she? You know,
check on her. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, slowly and surely, and any progress is good progress, because it'd be rough, but
yeah, I
feel for people who have been in the closet for many, many years. I mean, number one, no one should force you out of the closet if you're not ready. And then number two, there's nothing wrong with you. You are loved, you're cherished, and you are an impactful human being, and you're brave enough to even state who you are, right? But those are the things that I learned. And in regards to creating my own family, like chosen family, I learned at a really quick age that I was scared that I might be kicked out of home. And my parents were very religious and very homophobic. And so I was thinking of 17 and 18, I was like, fuck, like, if I can't trust my family with like who I am as an individual, and if I fear like they're gonna like kick me out so quickly, right? I need to have a family who loves me for me, right? Not the impression that I give out. And so at a very young age, like at 17, 18, I started creating my chosen family already. These were like homies that I care for, that they care for me, who may also feel compelled with these identities or may not, but they're just there. And so there was moments where all of my college years, I was in the closet, by the way. And I won awards. Like I won a scholarship for being queer, like the shout out for education. They paid out a lot of my school.
Wow.
Yeah, they gave me a scholarship, and I couldn't take my parents. You know, I couldn't tell them to come. I won this great award because then they would have found out. And so I had my friends, Isma and Alec.
Yes,
sounds like the producer. But Isma and Alec were there, and they told me, they were like, "Well, if your parents are not here, we'll be your parents." They're my besties.
I love it.
But that warmed my heart so much, and knowing like, yo, these motherfuckers would do a lot for me, right? And I would do the same for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I adore my chosen family. These are people that like you are very selected about, right? Yes. Your blood family, you're related to them.
Yeah.
But your chosen family, you really get to have those standards and those alliances and most of them align with my values. So it's just a great support system that I just love and adore to pieces.
Beautiful. Oh, I love that for you.
Thank you.
I love that. The reason I had asked you about your chosen family was because growing up, I was always taught like family's everything. Like your family, like all you have to worry about is your family. Like friends are not really a thing. Like friends come and go, so on and so forth, right? And for a long time, I really believed that. Like a lot of the girls that went to the Perralicious with me, I've known since high school. We went to college together. My best friend, the one that didn't go, that's gonna go this next time. She's been my best friend since middle school, and I had and I've talked about this before, like very surface level relationships with my friends before like 2 years ago. And I started being a little more intentional and understanding that like my family I have a very supportive family. Like they are, you know, that's the one thing. Like we may not have a lot of money or a lot of, you know, all this stuff, but support and love, I do get that from my family, you know, from my immediate family. And just like telling myself, like, okay, well, my family's not there. Like, who am I like having relationships with, you know? And it's my friends, and I've been super intentional, and I feel like I've opened up so many like safe spaces and you know, just for all of us. And it's kind of like poured into all of us together in a way, you know, like, oh, okay, I can talk about this. It doesn't have to be like, oh, how are you? And everything's great. Everything's fine. Like, no, it's our relationships are a lot deeper. And I encourage people to really be intentional with their friends and their relationships that they build outside of their family. Because your family, you know, your family is your family. But I don't know. I think thinking back, because I was never taught, or I didn't really know how to build relationships besides it being surface level. It took a lot of like trial and error and time, and they were patient. We were all patient with each other, and I just love what we have now. So that's why I was talking about my friends, and I'm like really obsessed with them.
Yeah, friends are fucking great, dude. Like you cannot navigate this world by yourself. The idea that you're like self-made, wrong. It's absolute trash. Like you need a community, you know, and so I think that's what a chosen family does.
And not only that, with that, I've also learned like there's people that are aligned with you are serving a purpose for a reason, you know. They're serving their purpose, and then you're serving your purpose in their life. And you like a lot of things that I noticed, like people don't like to ask for help, or they feel like a burden. And I mean, I was that person before, and I've just slowly learned to like, if God has certain people in your life that are aligned with you, that are supposed to serve their purpose, and you're supposed to serve yours, and you're not allowing that to happen, then you're robbing each other from y'all's blessings, you know? And yeah, so I love being a blessing, and I love accepting their purpose in my life, and then blessing me, even if it's a phone call or a hug or like even like the littlest things, you know. My love language is acts of service. So even if they're just like throwing my trash out, I'm like, look at them loving me. Loving me.
That's deep. I think you're also hitting a really good point about platonic love, right? I think
yes. Can you describe your music style a little bit? Like, yeah, just tell us about that.
So I call it Latin vibes. So it's it's like Latin bass, but it has like a lot of edits and mashups. So I can play like Missy Elliott with a reggaeton beat on it.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the most popular edits that I've played. I forgot the name of the producer, but it's Spice Girls, but on dembow.
Oh, let's talk about dembow after you finish this. I love me some dembow.
You're also Puerto Rican.
Yes, well, it's Dominican,
but
I know, girl, I love
the Caribbean,
me some
though.
dembow. Yes.
The Caribbean creates such great music, dude. Like, dembo's fucking amazing. It's super in right now. But yeah, that's literally my style. I feel like there's a lot of mashups and edits and a little bit for everybody to enjoy. Beautiful. So when I'm in spaces, they're like, why? Right? I can play the Spice Girls edit, but I can still get the Latinos that are in the room, and they're like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So let's talk about dembow. How do you feel about it? Doesn't it just?
I love it.
Get up and
I love Tokisha. She just tweeted, "I need a girlfriend," and I just replied with a smiley face.
Wink.
Fuck yeah! I love Tokisha. Tokisha's changing.
Ser perra
está de moda. Dude, she's incredible. I fucking love Tokisha, man.
Yeah. And dembow in general is just like,
it's just,
I know how to do the little dance and the little everything, girl. I mean, me and my friend Karina always have like a dembow, like it's not like a dance off, but we like do it together, and our other friends are like, oh my god, they're doing it again. Look away.
I love it. Yes. It's a form of self-expression, you know. Yes. Yeah, dembo's in, and I love it. You know, it's just like Dominican roots.
I'm glad they have some. I mean, I think they're the ones that started bachata, of course. I think merengue too. So just, I mean, that's a little bit older. I mean, it's never gonna die. But
the Caribbean, man, the Caribbean is just. But
great
music comes like from people of color. Like everything that's good in life comes from people of color.
Amen to that, I love that. Yes. If you had to pick dembow or reggaeton, which one would you pick?
Oh hell no!
I wouldn't pick either.
No, you know. So there's a trans artist, Villano. Yes.
Oh my god, I love her. Oh, okay. I got the mic off. I love her.
I love her too. Yo, Villano. Oh, so she did a Spotify like this or that, and they were like asking her like Puerto Rican things, like what would you prefer, this or that? And I just felt like her right now because you were like reggaeton or dembow, and I'm like, nah.
There's this one interview where they were like, Puerto Rico es like owned by the United States.
Oh yeah,
like, no. Somos una isla secuestrada por Estados Unidos. I'm like, you better
tell her. Yeah. You know, she did that really dope session with Bizarrap.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, dude, her verse on that fucking like that.
I'm off for it. Was it a freestyle?
Well, Bizarrap, it's like, you know who Bizarrap is?
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, well, Bizarrap just made a new song with Shakira.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
so he gets a variety of artists and then produces with them. So he's gotten Sno Tha Product.
I love her too.
Yeah,
I love. Give me like that. Her energy.
Oh,
yes. I love me some Sno.
I love
her from like way before she came up.
Yeah, dude.
Like I mean, she's always been like popping, but like before everybody knew her.
Yeah. I remember she had this one Facebook song. That was like,
so she was at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, same taste.
Yes.
I see you.
I love her.
But Villano and Bizarrap made that fucking song and it was just fucking hits. But yeah, Villano's, she did Boiler Room a couple of months back. I mean, Villano's just fucking incredible. And in this movement, it's so hard as a trans artist. You know, she's just fucking phenomenal. But I saw there's some backlash and saying like name another song of hers that is in the Bizarrap session, and Ozuna had her back. Ozuna was
I seen that.
Fucking crazy. I'm just like, okay,
his clip of him defending her.
Because you being transphobic and homophobic is not it. It will never be it, you know. And I'm so glad that artists are speaking that, because reggaeton was not like that several years back.
And then that's another thing. I forgot who was the one that said it. It was I think it was more of like an OG legend. I'm not sure if it was Daddy Yankee or Nicky Jam or who it was, or maybe
Don Omar. Maybe
no, it was definitely not Don Omar. What's the one that just made the song with Arcángel?
Yeah,
I think it was one of them three that said that Bad Bunny is setting the trend of like machismo is dead, like it's not even in style anymore. I'll look it up and send it to you.
Machismo is not
dead,
in style,
and that's like one of the things that they really like about Bad Bunny. It's like that shit's dead. It's not in style anymore. Like he's all about like women and like empowering women and stuff. So
well, I know that like when Bad Bunny's like came about, like a lot of it also he had like his nails done. Remember that? He had acrylics when he went like to Premios Juventud.
Yeah.
He had the video.
His purse at the basketball. He was sitting courtside with Gabriela and they both had their purse.
Oh, man. But then like the iconic video Yo Perreo Sola where he's like dressed in drag, right? There's just milestones. And then when he performed at, I think it was Jimmy Fallon, there was a trans woman who got murdered in Puerto Rico, and he was wearing that shirt. And like, so he was using, and then also he stopped his tour so he can protest with the El Pueblo, right?
Yeah, I just love me so bad. But
Yeah.
I think I love, of course, I love his music, but I think everything else that he does just makes him like, just amazing.
When an artist aligns with your values, it makes them even more special. Like Lonnie.
Yeah.
That's allyship.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
I wanted to talk about another female artist.
Okay.
That I don't feel like people talk about enough. And I'm just getting really excited because you posted one of her songs and it was the day that I followed you.
Oh, what?
Young Miko, baby.
I love Young Miko. I love Young Miko.
When I tell you I was
alignment.
Oh my gosh, I seen you post. I think I don't know if it was the Perralicious one. It was a post that you posted with Young Miko on it. I was like,
I love Young Miko.
What the
man? She is making noise, and also she's a queer woman. You know?
Yes.
You know, a lot of girls are very interested in Young Miko.
She's just so like, it's just the way she carries herself. It's like,
it's her,
she doesn't try too hard. She's just so cute.
It's her confidence, dude. But the thing is, she has bars.
Okay, let me tell you how I found out about Young Miko.
Okay, bet.
Let's take it back. So I went to Puerto Rico this I think it was like September.
Oh, bet.
And we were at the bars. We had made friends out there, and they were like showing us around. And I'm Shazamming because the music out there, you're not gonna get anything. I think you were probably the closest thing we'll get to that out here. I'm not even like, I'm so serious. Yeah. And they were just like playing. Her songs were catchy. Like the main song that we came home with was Putera.
Yeah.
And Loquera before it started popping here.
Oh,
before Loquera started popping here. Yeah. Because Loquera just started popping here like 2 months ago? Maybe?
I think so.
So we got when you're in Puerto Rico, because that's where it's
the
like
sound is at.
It starts. You get everything before everybody else does. Yeah. So, so we were just thinking like they were playing her music, and I'm like, who is this? And I Shazam, and they're like, oh, that's young Miko. Our friends like, that's young Miko. I'm like, okay, I heard her like 2-3 times. I was like, okay, I just need to download the whole album, and I just binged her from September till she came in concert. She did her first U.S. concert.
Did you see her?
Tour. Yes, I see
her.
Oh,
sis.
Yes, how me and my friends. Amazing. Yeah. And it was just, I was like, when I show you videos, I was like, this, like where you're at, that's how close I was to her.
Oh, you love her.
Yeah, I made sure to get on top of them speakers, and I kind of fell off one of the speakers. We're not gonna, it was bad. It was really funny the next day, but we love young Miko. We love us some young Miko. So how did you find her?
Miko? So I started getting into TikTok recently. I was told that I was peer pressured, kind of. I love my friends. They're trying to make me grow, but they were like, yo, like TikTok is where it's at as a DJ, right? And so how it was several years back, it's like as a SoundCloud DJ, you would have made it. But now you really need to have that TikTok following and whatnot, which my TikTok is DJ Rosez official. Just like,
put that out there.
But I started going on to TikTok, and this girl just kept coming into my like feed, and it was young Miko, and it was her interviews. And let me tell you, her producers must be fire, because man, that it was a Soulja Boy edit that a sample that she used in one of her songs. I forgot.
Oh, Riri.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I know the whole dance and everything. Like
she also did. She uses like bounce music. Yeah.
How did she?
Yeah.
How did Louisiana meet Puerto Rico?
It's lovely and it's beautiful.
And she also did the She has a little sample of. But she says it in Spanish. She doesn't say it in English.
She's smart.
Ding dong.
Oh.
There's dogs in your hair. Whatever, that TikTok sound.
She's smart.
What is it? The dogs in your yard?
Yeah.
Yeah, ding dong. Or something like that. But my friend pointed it out after like the 100th time of listening to the song. She's like, pero está en español. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's crazy what people do with music until you later figure it out. Like I just figured out that Rosalia Saoko has jazz in it. Yeah, she wanted to use jazz in it. Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, she's really creative when it comes to like, she has a lot of cultures merged.
Yeah, she's very creative. But yeah, so she kept coming to my feed, and people were just asking her, and more importantly, about her being queer in these spaces. And I started listening to her music, and I was just like, holy shit, like she's fucking talented. Like, like the bars, I felt very identified, because for the longest, I feel like for Latin artists, like queer artists, we had Sno Tha Product, but that was like it, you know? So I didn't realize, there might be others, right? We're in a podcast, so there might be others, but the one that I really identified with was Sno Tha Product, and I didn't see other artists at the time resemble something like her. And then, young Miko comes, and I'm like,
love it.
I love it. Yeah, con un poco de sazón.
She has a song named B.
Oh, yeah.
B is like bi in Spanish. I didn't know that till I listened to that song. But she has a song named B. It's a really good song. I've watched an interview of how she even came up with the song and everything. As far as like these girls in Argentina or something like that.
Her fits though are fucking fire. Yeah.
And they did not bring any merch with her on this tour. I was so upset. Like you have to go order it from Puerto Rico.
Ooh, maybe
she has a designer out there. I studied her.
I could tell.
Everything. I am a young Miko fan for sure. And she has a song with, how do you pronounce the name? Vendetta?
Which one?
That's the name. I think that's the name of the song. The trans artist from Puerto Rico.
Villano.
Oh
yes, they do. They do.
Yes.
Yeah. I love Villano, man. I wish them the best, because this industry is so hard. It's bien machista. Like the people who are in these opportunities are usually men, and some men will create opportunities for other women, but the opportunities that I've gained is because other women have spoken up for me, and I'm grateful for fucking that,
beautiful.
Yay.
I love it. I seen that you said that your brother has autism.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about that because my brother has autism too.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's still a baby. You said your brother's a little bit older, right?
He is 18.
Okay.
How old is your brother?
My brother is 10.
Oh,
yes, he's autistic.
Whoa.
We found out when he was 4.
Yeah.
Because of one of his teachers, he was like he had like a speech delay.
Yeah.
And then she like recommended us to get him evaluated.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the signs that we were noticing kind of aligned.
Yeah.
But yeah, so are you guys close in age? Well, you're 26, he's 18, so he's a little bit younger.
We're 8 years apart.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's a big gap.
Yeah.
How is that just like growing up with him? When did you guys find out?
Well, yeah,
go ahead.
Go
ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was asking because there's like the spectrum is like, you know.
Yeah.
So it could be very severe or it can be kind of like minor.
Yep.
What has that experience been with your brother?
Well, with my brother, he didn't speak for many, many, many years. I don't know about yours. Yeah.
He's speaking now.
Yeah.
He has a speech therapy. He has in-school support. He goes to counseling. He used to have home therapist come out. But it's a lot of things that we've had to learn, especially like my mom, because we have a huge age gap. Like my mom started over whenever I graduated high school. So I've been like his second mom.
Yep.
They know I'm their sister, but I don't know, I guess like a very much older sister relationship. Very sensitive. It's very difficult for him to like express his feelings and his emotions. So that's one thing that we're still like working on. He likes to carry on a lot of people's like, you know, emotions and stuff like that. And also just I feel like kids in general do stuff like that where like if you don't explain certain things to them, they come up with their own assumption. So like one day I remember I was crying. I don't know why I was crying. I'm very emotional, by the way. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. I cry just God's confirmation, just music, everything makes me cry. So I was crying one day and he went home and told my mom, he's like, I think Delila was crying because I had to stay home from school today. I'm like, what? No. So it's like if you don't explain to them certain things, they take it in and make their own assumption, and they take on like everybody's cargas, and it's like, no, it has nothing to do with you.
Well, my brother, like he got diagnosed at at 4. I mean, that's usually how the school system works, right? If they're falling a little behind in something. And I mean, it took a big it took my parents a lot of time to realize that, my brother does have autism. And I mean, we come from an immigrant household, so my parents didn't even know what autism was, right? And unfortunately, right, in El Salvador, I'm not saying that it happens now, but when my parents were childs, like if someone was like disabled or differently abled, who had mental issues, they would put them like in cages, you know, they're like, meh, you know, but I'm happy where my parents are at now. I mean, it's been a journey for all of us in regarding like mental health, especially for people who don't even know the language, like how to manage the healthcare system without knowing English. And you're like the only advocate that person has. So for my brother, my mom had to really understand what it means to manage those systems. But he has transgressed a lot. Before, as a child, I mentioned like he didn't really speak at all, but slowly and surely he understands what emotions are now. You know, like he can express when he feels happy, when he feels sad. He cannot hold a conversation, but my parents and his therapist and the whole system has taught him what to say in particular questions. So like, how are you? Good. You know, but we've given him some examples where he can make decisions, right? So an easy example is like choosing where to eat. We can either go to Chick-fil-A or we can go to McDonald's. You choose, and he gets to choose. So those are ways that we can include him. But for a while, I mean, it was really, really rough. And then explaining it to your family, right? Why he's behaving a little bit different, or why we can't go to that particular place, or why he doesn't want to drink that soda, or why things need to be the way that they are, because they fit into a regular schedule. So, I mean, I saw my mom. My mom's birthday was this week.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so I went to visit, and I saw my brother there. And one of the issues that she had was that my brother is so emotionally attached to the car that she has right now.
The car?
The car. And the car had to be in the mechanic, and he was like, I don't want to go to school without that car. So he was like crying. He had a little like session, and people don't realize that, right? That sometimes things are set the way they are because the way that they're, I don't know, for lack of better terms, that their brain is wired, right? They
have like a certain routine.
Yeah,
and once if there's a slight change, it like throws
it throws them off completely, you know. And so that's why it's sometimes hard when there's like summer vacation, right? They're just like, well, I'm supposed to be at school. So for me though, I've enjoyed having, I mean, my brother, I love him, you know. I even got like a little puzzle piece tatted on my ankle. And I mean, at first I wanted to be a clinical psychologist, right? But that didn't happen. But I mean, it gives you a different lens on how to view things, right? So when we're talking about inclusivity, that needs to also include like differently able and disabled people, right?
Yes.
And I think people forget that, you know, when we have like these concerts or these events, or like, where is the platform with people who have wheelchairs, right? Or like, or where are the nights? So like, some places have these nights where like they're meant for like people who have autistic needs, where like sometimes they'll close some things out, like
because they have, they're sensitive to sounds.
Yeah. So things like that. But I mean, I love my brother. He's great. He can elaborate now. He calls me DJ Rosez, and that just fucking makes my day.
That's so beautiful.
And he's a fucking flirt. I will tell you that. He loves women as much as I do, and that's just funny. I just think he's so charming.
That's beautiful. I know, when I seen that on your application, I was like,
yeah. Well, I think it's super cool to talk about these things because, you know, I have not seen like maybe I'm not searching in the right places, but I haven't seen like a support group for like sisters who have like autistic siblings, because it's hard. For a while I had to be the interpreter, the translator, the person that had to do all these paperwork, especially as a first generation, right? We're like their additional like receptionists. We just said at the same time.
Everything. Call, fill out applications.
Can you talk to the doctor for this? Or can, you know, like it can feel like such a heavy load, especially when I was in college, to feel like you know, that unfortunately I want to help you out, but I also have all these essays that are due. I have like all my responsibilities. And that was like a big takeaway that I had to learn once I moved into my own place, to like, I love my brother, but he's not my current responsibility. When my parents,
nothing wrong with that.
And when my parents pass away, I know that he's going to be my responsibility. Like, I'm aware of that. But as of right now, like, I'm sorry guys, you know, it's boundaries, you know?
And you shouldn't feel bad about that. I feel like for like a long time, I used to like guilt trip myself into thinking that like everybody was my responsibility. And but I've also learned to set my boundaries.
Period.
Because for a long time I didn't know how to do that, especially with my mom. And a lot of the things that I've learned with like because I know at one point I felt like I was like mothering my mother. And that's one of the things that I used to hide from until I started speaking up about it a little bit more, and I was like, okay, I'm not the only person that's, you know, doing that. And just like breaking myself down to build myself back up, because there's a lot of things that growing up I loved that were instilled into me, and that and then there's other things that I'm like, that's not healthy, and just being more vocal about it. I'm just happy that I had the courage to do all that with everybody around me and my mother. Because now recently we had this conversation, and I was like, there's certain things that you can like bring to people's attention and they choose to want to understand and acknowledge and take in and change. And there's some things that you just have to pray about and leave in God's hands, because only he can do that, you know? And I did that for a while in certain aspects. And like, I had a recent conversation with my mom, and she's just like telling me how inspiring I am to her, how proud she is of me, which she tells me this all the time. But as the biggest thing was like, she told me, she's like, I want to start surrounding myself around people that have things going for themselves. That's like powerful. Just all these things. And I'm like, her probably just going to my events and seeing that like inspires her. And I'm like, oh, these are some boss ass bitches doing their thing. And she's like wanting to do the same thing, you know? So I'm just like so proud of her for even thinking of that, you know, or like even, so.
That's powerful stuff, man.
Yeah. Describe like your day-to-day fashion and style.
Fashion and style.
Yeah, like what inspires your like fashion and what does it consist of?
I like to be comfortable.
Okay.
That's where I'm
okay,
at.
but what is comfortable? Because I love your fit.
Oh, thank you.
And I wish and I look up to girls that can pull off like sneakers and like streetwear.
Yeah, I love streetwear.
Like I tell people all the time, like, just let me be your model. Like I want to like dress me. Like tell me what to put on.
Yeah.
Tell me how to do it, because I cannot for the life of me.
Girl, you look great.
Thank you, but this is comfortable to me. Like heels and dresses and skirts are like
the
comfy.
heels.
I love heels. I can run in heels. I'll race somebody.
Okay, there's your soundbite right there. She can run in heels.
I can run in heels. Let me tell you the story. One time, this was New Year's, my little cousins were playing football outside, right?
Yeah.
And I was already a little buzzed, and they were like, "Oh, $30 that will beat you in like I guess you partner up and then you throw it, and if you catch it, that's a point. If you miss it, then
okay."
And I beat them in heels. In heels.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. What is comfy for you? Because this is comfy for me.
Well, the thing is, I going into the DJ industry, you are in your feet a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And I realized for me, I cannot be on heels. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can go in heels when we go party out and shit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like DJing, I have to bend over and do all these things, which I don't think a skirt will be like the most comfortable for me, or a dress or heels. I'd save that for like times that I go out with my friends where I'm not working. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to this, I really do lean into streetwear. I like baggy shit. I think it's so comfortable. I usually wear like a hat or a bandana, some shades. I do love me a hoop. Okay. I do love me a hoop. So here we are with a little hoops.
Yes, and the roses.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you. I love me a hoop. And honestly, I mean, I just really love streetwear. So innovating anything with streetwear. I know what's in right now is like a baggy bottom and then a crop low top. Okay. I'd be doing that. And the staple for me is the wing eyeliner. I always wear wing eyeliner. I'm also inspired like Missy Elliott. I love her fucking fashion. Like I mentioned, I would love to do like a Missy Elliott inspired photo shoot. Mm-hmm. She's just fucking great, man. She be killing in the game. You know, she's one of the most iconic rappers and has influenced a lot of male rappers. Yes. You know, so.
With everything.
Yeah.
Everything that she does. Yeah. Wasn't she an MC at one point or something?
Probably. Her clothing, her videos.
Her video shoots. What is one of your current most favorite local establishments? It could be a vendor. It could be a restaurant, a store. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, I've worked with a lot of local brands. They sponsor a lot when it comes to like, I've done a lot of photo shoots and they'll sponsor like the earrings or whatnot. But local right now, man, I love Bougie and Bless. I worked with her. We did a Salvadorian market called Puchica Voz. Nice. Yeah, it was fun. All Salvadorian vendors.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I love.
Dude, she's a killer. So shout out Bougie and Bless. I work with her a lot. Other local brands. Man, I just feel like I'm on the spot. I've worked with so many. Oh, It's Show Market. She has some really cool stuff. It's Show Market does a lot of vintage. And she's really big about community as well. So her shop, she has a whole statement that is just beautiful. But yeah, she had this vision board party hosted. Nice. Yeah, and she has a lot of vintage wear, so I got some of my stuff from there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are two great women establishments right now that I've noticed. Las Perras Cafe also, like
I haven't heard of that.
Dude, I fuck with Las Perras. So Las Perras was made to create a coffee shop where brown women can like enjoy coffee together as a hospitality. And like,
what side of town is that in?
So it hasn't opened yet. So it's a pop-up. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, they're a pop-up.
They're a pop-up. Okay. They're working to make it into a great.
That's fine.
Yeah. When I heard Las Perras, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of perras and Perralicious, do you know how to perrear? Let me ask you why. Let me tell you why. Because in Puerto Rico, they taught us how to perrear. I was like, you want me to do what? I don't know about all that, but oh my goodness.
I don't think I'm a seasoned perrear, but I can set the tone to perrear.
Like, I got you with the music.
Yeah. Okay. But personally, I don't think I'm like a booty shaker or a twerker.
Well, really, to be honest with you, I think that's what we think perreando is, but that's not what perreando is.
What's with the hips?
I think Yeah, it's like more of like a bounce. It's like a hit, like a back and forth kind of thing. But I think twerking is more of like a thing here.
Chill, yeah. But it looks like a thrusting movement together as a perreo collective.
Yeah.
It looks like what dogs are doing. You know, like
it does.
So the essence of that, well, I can be the behind of perrear. I don't know if I'm the front.
The front, got it. Yes. Yeah, when we went to PR, I was like,
I'm sure that changed your life. You saw like authentic shit, you know?
Yes. I was like, this is where, like, do I have to come all the way out here to get this fucking...
Yeah. The feels.
Everything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
The vibe. The realness. And Puerto Rico has so many treasures. Like, I'm wanting to go to Puerto Rico to listen to El Coqui. Yeah.
Just sneak one in my purse. They won't survive here, though.
Oh, what?
They won't. That's the only place you can find them.
Wow. So I'm going to PR this summer for the first time.
You're not gonna want to come home.
You're
not going to want to come home. I like the first month back, I was like really rethinking my entire life. I was like, oh my gosh, like, do I really want to live in the States forever? Yeah. Like, what am I doing here? And then after a month, it was like, okay, you're back to reality. It took me a month to get back into reality, but there's days, because that's when I really started binging Young Miko, and then like a week after being here, that's whenever we seen that she was on US tour. So I'm like binging all her music, and you just miss it every time.
It was a life-changing event.
Yeah. Well, if you need a list of things to do, because I'll send it to you. We tried to not do too many touristy things. We got a car. We like road trips. We did day trips. We tried to do more local things. Nice than touristy. We went to like La Placita, which everybody goes to.
Yeah, I've heard about
Placita. You have to go. You can't go to Puerto Rico and not go to La Placita. Like, but I can tell you one of the bars there that's a little more like have more local DJs than like they have like the Afrobeat.
Yeah,
they have that. They have the American music. They have the salsa ones. They have like the more local DJ spots, and like so.
Yeah, salsa's huge. I mean, Puerto Rico.
I love salsa.
Yeah, Puerto Rico also helped with the salsa movement, right?
Yes, it was started there.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was funny because the friends that we met, I'm like, do y'all know how to dance salsa? And they're like, no, like we don't really dance. I'm like, how are you Puerto Rican? I know how to dance salsa. And they're like, not every Puerto Rican knows how to dance salsa. I'm under the impression that yes, because I know how to dance salsa, and I'm not even like I wasn't even born here, like you know. But my mom was the one that taught me salsa, so I know how to dance like the Puerto Rican salsa, and I know how to dance like the Colombian salsa.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah,
because, whoa,
it's a little different.
You're unstoppable. Okay, salsa queen.
I love me some. I love to dance, so I'm just like I can merengue, bachata, salsa, vallenatos, like everything, cumbia.
That's right.
I can't do too many of the Mexican dances. Besides, no. I mean, if you guide me, I'll pick up. No, I've done the one where you all have. Are you guys get in the line?
Oh, wapangos.
I like that. Forward and then back. But one thing that I noticed was that in Puerto Rico was that the younger generation. They're more into like reggaeton, and then the older generation's more into salsa.
Oh wow! So there's a drastic change happening right now.
Yeah,
I can see that for sure.
So, what is the most difficult word for you to say in Spanish?
Oh fuck! Difficult words to say in Spanish. Well, I will tell you that one of the words that I learned was wrong. When I was studying Spanish was parquear is not a word. It's estacionar. And that was one of the words I was like, oh fuck, I can't mess that shit up. So I was like, Mom, what estacionar el carro en el garaje?
There's a lot of words that we like Spanglish without us really noticing. Chequear.
Oh yeah.
Chequear is one of them. That is not a word.
How about like what is one of your favorite Puerto Rican words? And I'll tell you my favorite Salvadorian word.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, Puerto Rican words.
Bad Bunny has like helped that language.
I don't want it to be a bad word.
Well, mine is a bad word.
Okay, you go first then.
Mine is puchica. I really like it.
Okay, that's a good one. Oh, okay. Let me tell you one that I learned that really stood to me. Okay, so one of our friends kept telling us like, no la palta.
Okay, no la palta.
No la parta. It's parta, but he doesn't say the R.
Yeah.
But no la parta means like don't fuck with her. So like we take pictures and we're all like posing. He's like, oh, no la parta.
Yeah, dude, use it as a caption. No la parta.
I did use it as a caption on one of my Puerto Rican pictures. That was one of my favorite words that I learned out there.
That's cute.
So I was raised mostly with my mom, so I feel like I'm a little more Colombian than Puerto Rican.
Oh.
But I was so glad that we met them out there because I know anytime we go back, we're gonna hang out with them, and they showed us all the cool like local spots, and they were a very good like guide or assist while we were out there. And I felt more like in tune with my culture and grounded and everything. So I think that one was my favorite. No la parta. That was like that. And then every time my friends and I go on a trip, we always have like a theme song for the trip, and Loquera was the theme song for that trip.
Okay.
Yes.
I love cohesiveness.
Yes. And then also Puerto Rico está bien cabrón. That one was, of course. We used that song. I love Bad Bunny. We actually went to go see him. Have you seen him in concert? Yeah,
I have. I've seen him 3 times.
Nice.
Yeah. But for me, my favorite album is Por Siempre. Yeah, I got it tatted on my ankle. But I got sockies.
Which one was that?
It's the first one.
The first one.
Yeah. To me, I was talking to John about
this. Was it the green one with the ears? The album cover?
Maybe.
I mean, I've been listening to Bad Bunny before.
It's the eyes.
The black one with the eye?
Yeah. That was his first album. Because I remember people were like, why hasn't he dropped an album yet?
But I think I was listening to him before he even dropped an album.
Yeah. Well, because he had Amor Foda, and Amor Foda was like super big, and he wasn't dropping shit.
Yeah, it was so funny when because my uncle, he's into like Spanish rap and all, like reggaeton and stuff like that, and he was like, he put me on Bad Bunny, and I'm like, okay, like Bad Bunny's music's great. Like I used to listen to all stuff in the beginning, and then one day he's like, oh, he's coming into town, like we need to go. This was like in 2016, I think, and I was like, where's he going? And I want to say he went to like Vertigo or like
iClub.
I was like, I'm not going there. I was so mean to him. I was like, I'm not going. And I feel so bad because like a couple months later he blew up. Yep. And I felt bad. I mean, I was never a concert girl, huh?
It was the venue that turned you up.
I was like,
it would be like that. You know, a lot of people will start like Ivy Queen. I think has been an iClub or Vertigo. Or Metropolis, those clubs.
I've only ever been there once.
I've been to Metropolis once.
The music's not bad though.
No, it's very authentic. It's very like if you want a Latin spot.
I've been to Tropican.
Oh, have you been to Fabian's?
Of course. I love me some Fabian's. I'm gonna be dancing, but it's just so hot. I get so sweaty. Yeah. I haven't been to like the extended part that they have now.
Yeah. Well, they're smart for that because that line was
ridiculous. Yeah. Luckily, one of my mom was a party girl during her time.
Period.
So her friends managed that spot. So
you get in.
Yeah. Especially if you're with a group of girls, it's so much easier.
Oh yeah, because you want the girls.
Yeah.
Again, who has the power of nightlife?
Us.
Women.
Okay, so that was my last question for that. I want to do a rapid question really fast. Rapid questions. It's just 5 of them.
This or that?
No. A little bit.
Okay.
The first 2 are there's 2 of them that are like this or that.
Okay, rapid.
Okay, Drake or Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
Pupusas o baleadas?
Oh, pupusas, don't cancel me.
Okay. Hoodies or crop tops?
Hoodies.
Wait,
no. Crop tops all the way. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Crop tops.
And then list your top favorite 3 genres in order from favorite to least. It can be any.
Oh shit.
From least favorite to favorite.
Okay, least favorite to favorite. Okay, so I really like some. Okay, well, I play a lot of cumbia. I'm really into Afrobeats, but perreo's my shit.
Okay, and then the last question is, what is something that we need to leave in 2022 and not bring into 2023 with us?
Drake.
Good answer. I really like you. Everybody gives me shit for not liking Drake.
I mean, there are some Drake bops. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
Like,
I can't say there's not, but
I think he's flopping. His last 2 albums weren't that good, and
talking about he charting like Bad Bunny numbers. No, you're not.
No, he's not. He's not
at all.
But for me, also I could have said Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez. You see, and I feel like Tory Lanez is a great artist. Like there's
he had great music. But he's just dumb.
Yeah, but there's like, just because an artist puts out great music doesn't mean you have to like the artist. Like
one of the patterns that I've noticed too is when there's a successful woman, like some men want to latch on to that, and it's like, let them be. This is their moment to shine. So there's been moments when I've seen like women DJs climb up, and they're like, oh, you need to mentor another male DJ, and I'm like, you do not. Let them shine. Or couples, and I was like, no. Like I honestly would prefer a couple that doesn't do like the same things, right? And to see those things is just like unfortunate, because like we deserve that space, we deserve that spotlight, right? And we don't need to share it with other men. So like, Ice Spice, continue doing your thing. Right. You don't need Drake to validate you. You don't need these things.
And I think she knows.
I know she knows.
Yeah. But I wanted to point out another thing that you said about couples doing like the same thing. I believe that in a relationship there should always be like individuality, and everybody should have their set goals, their hobbies. That doesn't have to be like up each other's butt all the time.
I've just seen it so many times. I'm like, oh, she's such a great and successful woman DJ. Why is she like? And then I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about this. I'm gonna chill. Those are my opinions. That's it. But I did see a pattern in which like women cannot exclusively be successful without like men trying to leech. It's nasty.
Yeah, it's so sad. So those are all the questions I have. But we do have one segment called leave a message at the beep.
Okay.
Where you will get to leave a message for the next guest, and you don't know who the next guest is going to be, but she'll get to hear it, and then she does the same thing, and it just keeps going.
That's beautiful. Yes. Okay. And these are all women?
All women. Any advice that you'd like to... Actually, before you do that, I do have one more question.
Okay, go for it.
I do have one more question. Okay. What in your DJ career or in life has been one of your pivotal moments where you felt like you had to make a shift and it was like a good learning experience?
When I did Boiler Room.
Okay, what is Boiler Room?
So Boiler Room is one of like the biggest DJ events that someone can do. So it's an underground production that started in London.
Ooh.
Yeah, it now has traveled all throughout the US. And so they get the local DJs and things that they think they're gonna pop up. And so I did Boiler Room, and for me, for DJing for like 2 years, that was huge, you know? And so things that happened there, I had a lot of technical issues that night. And so I had to work what I had. And at that moment, I felt disappointed because this is going to be broadcasted for several people to see, right? All throughout the world. I did my best, and I try to be as intentional as I can be with that set. That set was not about what the crowd wanted, but more about like what I want to provide for the crowd. And so that set, I did an all women set. I didn't sing, but I only played women tracks. It was a cumbia set, so all women tracks centered with my Salvadoran heritage. And I even used some local artists to produce some of those edits. And for me, that was like the most pivotal moment in my career, as I was really showing, like, you know, when you're an onion and you're like releasing all those layers. That's how I felt. I was releasing my core to what it was in Boiler Room. So although I had technical issues, I had my own merch, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's my most pivotal moment, in which I could really share who I am as an individual to the masses.
Beautiful. But I love how intentional and authentic you are with everything.
Thank you.
That's
I
really
appreciate
important.
it.
I don't feel like we see that enough. With DJs, I feel like a lot of people could get not just DJs, like just the nightlife in general.
Nightlife,
you get so caught up in the hype and in mainstream and like all that stuff that you start it's just like replicas. You know, everybody's the same. So I commend you for being authentic and intentional and genuine with everything that you do, and continue walking in your truth, because it's really important. And that's a lot of the things that I feel like are my values and what I want for Bloom too. So
I love the name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep flourishing.
Yes.
So go ahead and leave your message for the next guest. If it's an advice that you want to give her, or just words of encouragement. It doesn't have to be short or long. Just whatever you'd like to tell her.
All right. To the baddie that's listening and that's going to be here, you're appreciated. You're loved. And I hope you kill it in your fucking podcast.
Man, love it. Thank you. Thank you for that. So we have one last thing.
Okay.
I'm very, as you know, I always suck at this part. I don't know why I get so nervous, but very big on giving everyone their flowers. I just want you to know that you're doing great things. I hope that we can work together, continue a relationship, and just keep growing. And I wish you nothing but the best in everything that you do. Keep authentically being yourself and walking in your truth.
Thank you.
And we're gonna give you your flowers.
Oh,
so
shit.
We got you some roses.
Oh shit.
Yes, and they're red. So it's just my way of showing my appreciation for you to come on and to give you your flowers, literally.
Dude, how'd you know I love roses?
I thought about it too. I'm like,
Oh, thank you. That
yes,
means
and then
so
they're red
much.
Too. So yes, just literally.
Damn, this was special. You got something special going on here.
Thank you so
I hope
much.
you know that. Continue doing what you're doing and keep uplifting women because we need it. We need more women podcasts.
Yes. Thank you. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for coming on. Yes. Let everybody know where they can find you. What do you have coming? And yeah, what's to come?
All right. So my Instagram page is DJ Rosez with a Z at the end. My TikTok is official DJ Rosez. And what I have coming up next, as we mentioned, we have Perralicious happening at Hinky and Pilot. Hey, February 17th, we'll be selling tickets. You do not want to miss this. It's the ultimate R&B and reggaeton experience, the ultimate Valentine's party. And we all hope to see you there.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye.